Well, hello again, mere mortals. My name is Geoff, and I got some tales to tell to you, mortals. While the bandito is out dealing with Beetlejuice, man, he always gets the fun stuff. I'm here to tell you the tale of a spooky game that was never released. Remember this game, right?
You want to play the game? My game. By my rules. The Gatekeeper!
Well, did you know that there were plans to release a video game based on Nightmare? Yep, that's right. Activision had plans to release a Nightmare, or as it would later be called, Atmosfear game on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System console. And it would have been released in 1994. So, the spooky tale goes that this game was originally announced in an issue of Nintendo Power. And kids were pretty excited, at least kids who were fans of Atmosfear. Yeah, they changed the name because they wanted to avoid confusion with the British TV show called Nightmare, which is spelled like Knight. But that's not relevant though. What is relevant is the fact that this game was once mentioned in an issue of Nintendo Power. And for whatever reason, it was cancelled. There was no concrete evidence on why Activision decided to cancel this one game. But it might suggest that, well, Atmosfear wasn't selling as well as it used to in 1994. Yeah. The popularity of Atmosfear kind of died down for a bit. But Atmosfear was made popular again thanks to Atmosfear, the Harbingers. Yeah, there was no real reason on why this game was cancelled. And here's something I have to explain. Usually, I or the bandito would record game footage by either using a TV, yeah, just literally recording gameplay footage on the screen, or by hooking up a game console to a DVD recorder. Yeah, he doesn't use capture cards, and neither do I when I record game footage. So yeah, I either record game footage by using the camera. Yeah, I used to do that, well, the bandito used to do that more often until he switched over to recording game footage by using a DVD recorder ever since he got one in 2014 from a yard sale. But because this game is unreleased and there's no other method to play it, and I don't have a physical copy of the cartridge itself, you have to buy a reproduction cartridge in order to be able to play it on your SNES console. I will be playing this game on an emulator, just like everybody else on YouTube. Which is rare, considering that game footage is usually recorded with a DVD recorder, and that's because of one thing. I and the Bandito usually strive on quality and perfection. I and the Bandito want to make the game footage as authentic as possible and to play it on the real hardware, the real deal. And that's why I and the Bandito don't use an emulator. Because why would we need to? We have the consoles, and we can record game footage, yeah. 4K upscaling and all that garbage, but authentic game footage, remember that. We want the game footage to look as authentic as possible, but as I said before, we have no choice but to play this game on an emulator because of it being unreleased. So yeah, let's waste no more time, for we have precious little of it, and delve into the nightmarish world of the unreleased Atmosfear on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or should I say, Spooky Nintendo Entertainment System. Hey, hand. Could you give me that controller? Oh, ow, I didn't mean like that. But thanks anyways. Let's delve into the spooky world of Nightmare, aka Atmosfear, on the Spooky Nintendo Entertainment System. As we delve into the Gate of Souls, we can see that the game was going to be developed by Beam Software, which of course is very known for developing a lot of the LJN and Acclaim titles. But anyways, here's the intro, and it's spooky. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it. But look out.
Welcome to the other side.
See? I told you look out. We have a familiar face here. But anyways, the menu is pretty basic. It has start and options. Yeah, the options menu set the lives, set the difficulty, and adjust the controls depending on which controls you prefer. But hey, at least I got the controls right. A is jump and B is attack. Just like how it should be.
Think you can win?
You know, because
I think
Mario
not.
Brothers.
I rule
Oh, look.
this game.
We got the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper. And yeah, you got your selection of levels. Each themed around the characters of the game itself. And each one of them is designed in a clever way. Yeah. We even got Helen's Toy World. Yeah, Helen the Poltergeist, who is pretty much a creepy doll. Yeah. Let's go to Deshantre's domain. She is the witch. Yeah, the cool thing about running it on an emulator is that you get save states. So, if we die, we can always load the states and make our own makeshift checkpoints. Because believe me, this game is relentless with how you die. If you die, and I kid you not, you go all the way back to the beginning of the stage. No checkpoints, no pass go, nothing. You die, you go back. And have to do it all over again. And yeah, these troll enemies or giants, they look a lot like the ghost of Christmas Present. Yeah, you got some dice, pretty accurate of the board game in a literal sense. And you got the witch. Yeah, the witch wouldn't be such a problem, except for a fact, you can't even shoot up, and your weapon has a short attack range. Yeah, its attack range is pathetic. Oh man!
Feeling weak?
The Gatekeeper
What?
interrupted us, just like in the board game itself. Jeez Louise. Stop interrupting me every time I show up, you hooded freak. But anyways, here we are. Yeah, the controls are kind of slippery. And, of course, sometimes you have to be precise with the jump. See what I mean? You have to be precise with where you want to jump. Yeah, I believe they want to make this game as hard as possible to appease to video rental stores as, well, that was the reason why a lot of games back then had the high difficulty, because they wanted to appease the video rental stores that if kids rent a game and they rent it after they go to school, they try their best to beat it, or their whole weekend is wasted. But anyways, here's an example of a game where you can shoot up. I don't have Contra, but this is just as good. Here's another good example, Vector Man. Notice how I could shoot in all directions. Yep, I could shoot up, diagonal, and yep, I could shoot while crouching. And I can also shoot down while jumping. Yeah, it's not exactly like Contra, but it's still a good example. You can shoot in all directions. And guess what? Vector Man still manages to be a challenging game. But as long as you're good at it, you can manage a no damage run, and you can manage a good playthrough of this game if you're good at it. But anyways, back to Atmosfear. Yeah, I do have Contra 4 on the DS. So don't worry, I still have a Contra game. So, why is the inability to shoot down and up such a big problem? Well, I'll explain. Well, here's one of the enemies on the ground. Oh no, not you again. Go away. Yeah, this time I'm banished into the black hole. And of course, this is a section that you have to do in order to advance in the game. Yeah, just like a nightmare, aka Atmosfear. You have to venture into the black hole sometimes. Yeah, see? Yeah, the rats, the only way you can shoot them is if they stand up. And that's why you can never have enemies on the ground. Like the AVGN once said, if you can't shoot on the ground, then don't have enemies that are on the ground. Oh man. See what I mean? I died, so I have to start the level all over again. This is a nightmare. Yeah, and that witch is annoying. She's up there with the red doubles from Ghosts and Goblins and those shooty things from Batman on NES. See, notice how I have save states. Yeah, I can pretty much correct my jump. That's one of the benefits of having an emulator. And look, bats. And you can't shoot up, so you have to be lucky enough to be able to hit them, since you can't even shoot up. Yeah, don't even have enemies in the air if you can't shoot up. Yeah, and those druids are throwing, well, mud at us. Yeah, no, I'm gonna make the whole shit joke, but they're throwing mud at us. What kind of druids do that? Druids, you disappoint me. Yeah, so because this game is so unfair with how it sets you back after you die, and how you have to complete the game within a time limit. Yes, there's a time limit. I know that this was in Atmosfear as well, but it's annoying here. If you run out of time, well, guess what? You fail. The Gatekeeper wins. Just like in Nightmare, aka Atmosfear. Here we are. Just took a few save states and... Oh no, not you again. This time we're sent into a section where we have to defeat these demon things that the Gatekeeper just spawned on us. Yeah. Yeah, suck it up, Gatekeeper. I know I cheated, but you're just as unfair. Anyways, let's go into the level itself, and yeah, for a game based on Atmosfear, it shouldn't require a lot of platforming, but guess what? It does. And there are obstacles that you also can't avoid without taking a hit. But the good news is that you do have post-hit invincibility, unlike certain other games like Bram Stoker's Dracula on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, where you can die pretty quickly because you don't have any recovery time. So yeah, at least they fought to put post-hit invincibility here. Oh man, what the hell is that? What the hell is even that? A zombie thing with tentacles. Good lord. That looks like something out of Rick and Morty. Yeah, it was basically a Rick and Morty monster before Rick and Morty was even a thing. Yeah, a zombie tentacle monster. I wouldn't even want to go around one of those. Jeez. Yeah, again, you can't shoot up and kill the bats. I wish that you could shoot up, because there are enemies in the air. Yeah, that thing could kill you. It's a good thing we got save states. Yeah, if you die, you go back, and like I said, you're running on a time limit. So yeah, save states are crucial here. And yeah, the game's slowing down a bit. So yeah, this section is tricky. But at least in another area we have a health potion, so it's all good here. Here we are, we see the health potion, see what I mean? You got a health potion, and let's save that. Yeah. See what I mean? I can beat your unfair game design, Gatekeeper. You just don't stand a chance against the almighty save state. Oh man, it's another one of those weird face creatures. Seriously, what is even up with them? Again, they look like something out of Rick and Morty. But anyways. Oh, and I hit select, and guess what it did? Yeah, it actually gave you a menu and an option to either continue or go to the graveyard. So yeah, it's pretty cool that they let you do that. Oh man. Yeah, a no damage run with this game is impossible. You're going to get hit. And you are going to get hit a lot, and you are going to die a lot. Which is why you have save states. But I don't usually play games on the emulator, so this is just a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But it's cool that they're there, though, because of its unfair game design. Ugh, man. I have to be running to jump over high ledges. Yeah. It's another problem with this game. You can't jump on a dime like in Super Mario Brothers or any other game. You have to be running while jumping to a great distance, and you can select between running and walking, but why would you select walking? There's no stamina meter, so there's no reason to ever use the walk function. So yeah, sprint all you want. Oh, and the spider glitched. Man, I hate the gate. Man, I hate you, Gatekeeper. You're always trying to play a trick on me. let's load another save state. Yeah, climb up that ladder. Get that skull. And yes, the skulls are for health, but they only give you a little bit of health. And yeah, it's the same demon creatures, but guess what? They're also annoying. And on my first go, when I first played this game, I accidentally saved with low health here, and guess what? I died a lot, so those demon creatures shoot fireballs. Yeah, the demon creatures in the Meet My Friends section don't have this attack function, so it probably wasn't programmed in since the game was unfinished. Yeah, the game was unreleased. Yeah, and you have to get past them. Yeah, the enemies are too hard to kill, which is another mark of bad game design. Yeah, this area is blocked, which means we can't go there. Damn you and your game design, Gatekeeper. Yeah, at least you can get those hourglasses, which helps reduce time. Because if you die, you have to go all the way back, and it's cheap. Yeah, it's cheap game design. Well, I mean, the way you die is pretty cheap. Yes. It's like as if the Gatekeeper himself designed this game just so he could torture people for his own enjoyment. And yeah, I can't go over the fact you're playing as a generic kid.
You cheater!
Oh man! We're going to the boss section. But at least he has a cool weapon. That flashlight is pretty cool. And yeah, the boss is on the Chantre. And of course, we have to try to... Well, we have to try to kill her while she's standing there. But there's one problem though. She shoots fireballs. And you have to jump over the cauldron, which of course takes away a bit of your health. So yeah, you are not going to defeat this boss without getting hit. And there's no strategy here. There's just no strategy here. You just have to hope that she dies before you do. Yeah, so strategy is pretty much removed in favor of hoping that you land enough hits in order to kill her. And yeah, I eventually killed her. Well, I didn't. Yeah, the boss didn't appear. I just have to have the Gatekeeper said, "You cheated."
You cheated.
See, I have to save at that point. And yeah, if you die, you go all the way back, but it does have the boss music. Yeah, load state. Oh crap, this boss is so unfair. I can't believe I'm trying to beat a boss like that. I just wish I had a better weapon. Yeah, the flashlight kills things in 2 or 3 hits, but it's such a pathetic attack range. And another worst thing is the hit detection. Sometimes the weapon will go right through the characters without even noticing. I don't know why that happens sometimes. Oh, come on! You can't even let me win here. And going down on Chantre, you're going down. Yeah. Oh, crap. See what I mean? It sends you back. No checkpoints. What were they thinking? Yep, that's another quote from AVGN, and it's a good quote, which sums it up pretty well. To quote AVGN, what were they thinking? Yeah, the Chantre has a better attack range than you do, and you have a flashlight which only has a short range, so your default weapon pretty much sucks. At least in games like Contra or Vector Man, you have a good starting weapon that has a good range. But here, your default weapon sucks. Yeah, it might as well be the rocks from Friday the 13th because it is not doing anything. Alright, we're almost there. Almost there, just gotta beat her. Almost there. Just gotta load another save state. I'm close to death. Yeah, this requires no strategy whatsoever. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost there. Oh crap! Yeah. Gotta beat this witch. I can't let her defeat me. I have to beat her. Come on, come on. Almost there. Almost there. Yeah! And as you can tell, it says spectacular death sequence. Spectacular misspell. So yeah, they intended on having it there, but guess what? The game's unfinished. Which means that they didn't program it in. But anyways, here are the other stages. Here is Gavaden's Forest. Yeah, it's the stage of Gavaden the Werewolf, and you get to fight against British Empire soldiers. And here is Bathory's Castle. This is the stage of Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Yep. And I even meet her. Well, sometimes. Yeah, she sometimes appears in the dimension of spookiness. Yeah, this has deadly water, and of course, platforms you have to jump on, and yeah, some parts were unfinished here, as it says the end. So yeah, another unfinished level. Next up is Sam D's Club, and of course, this is where we get to go into the so-called Cathedral of Jive. Yeah, it looks like they're having a good time here. And of course, there's this one security guard that will toss you aside if you don't pay him. Yeah. If you go near him, he'll just throw you. And you can't kill him either. So yeah, what you have to do is get that coin so he can let you buy. But you still don't have it, as you have to select it. Yeah, this is where this weapon selection comes in handy. But he still won't let you buy unless if you use it on him. So yeah, you have to press the fire button and there you go, he lets you in. So yeah, it's a pretty cool and inventive stage. It looks like a fun time here, so on to the next stage. Up next is Helen's Toy World. The world of Helen the Poltergeist. And it's more like a carnival than a toy world because we got clowns. So many creepy clowns. Get them away from here. Ah. So yeah, I have no idea what kind of toy factory has
Going
clowns.
somewhere?
Yeah. Shut up, Gatekeeper. Moving on. And last, but certainly not least, is Khufu's Tomb. And I've heard that this level has a glitch since it was unfinished. Yeah, it's to be expected. Because, well, the game was unreleased. So yeah, it's an Egyptian stage which definitely does fit well with Khufu the Mummy. You also got Respawning Horus. Yes, I know what those are called. They also got that pillar that you have to try to jump over, try to shoot. So yeah, it's a pretty creative stage. But we won't get to see Khufu's temple until many years later. But anyways, here are my final thoughts. Well, Atmosfear on the Super Nintendo has some good ideas going for it. It also had some questionable choices when it comes to certain levels. Like Helen's Toy World. Why would they have creepy clowns in Helen's Toy World? Is it because the Jack-in-the-Box from Demonic Toys has a clown face? Is that why? Yeah, that actually makes sense now that I think about it. And it also had some terrible game design, as whenever you die, you go back to the start and you have no checkpoints. Your default weapon sucks. Controls can be slippery at times. The game requires precision platforming, and you have to take a leap of faith on certain areas. Yeah, killed the British Empire soldiers. It's one powerful flashlight, even though it sucks at attack range. So yeah, it's like as if the Gatekeeper himself designed this game. But what do you expect though? The game was unfinished and never released. It would have most likely had some polish had it been released. And speaking of the Gatekeeper, guess who the final boss was going to be in the game? Yep, the Gatekeeper was going to be inspired by that demonic demigod boss in Ghouls and Ghosts. But anyways, let's move along. Sure glad that game never got released. It has all of the markings of bad game design. It has cheap deaths, unfair enemies, and whenever you die, you go all the way back to the start. So no checkpoints for you. Now, I would give this game a rating, and I would rate it a 5 out of 10, as it does have some things that are good about it. But since this game was never released, I'm not giving it a rating. Because the game was technically never released and it wouldn't be fair to give it a rating. So yeah, I'm not giving it a rating because the game was never released. But still, it has some good ideas going for it. Like, all of the levels are themed around the characters of the board game itself. You explore the different layers of each host, which is what the Spoony one always wanted with the expansions of Atmosfear. So yeah, this game actually explored the different layers of the hosts. Unlike those expansions where it's the same boring graveyard setup. I wish they did that with the expansions, to be honest. And it would have been cool, but hey, at least they did that with the Khufu the Mummy expansion for the Atmosfear DVD game. Even though it is technically a different game since, well, you're exploring the tombs of Khufu. And I do like how every level has creative enemy design. Yeah, each enemy in Atmosfear isn't just a palette swap of the other enemy, and they aren't just the same enemy rehashed over and over. There's actually some creativity put around here. You got trolls or giants. They look like the ghosts of Christmas present to me. And then you got the druids from Druids. Yeah, that's what they look like to me. And then you got British army soldiers, zombies, all the good stuff. And yes, it has bats. Even though it's cliche to have bats in pretty much any game, but it is Halloween themed though. At least it makes sense for the theming around Atmosfear. And the game actually stays true to its source material. The Gatekeeper interrupts you whenever you go into the game itself, which is a nice bonus, but it can also ruin the flow of the game. So yeah, it's good in some areas and bad in others. It's a so-so game. But at the end of the day, it was never released, so it's pretty much like someone discovered the Gatekeeper's treasure and then dug it up and then presented it to the world many years later. It's like, what do you expect? And yeah, this game is pretty interesting with its story, and if you want to download it for yourself, the link is in the description. That is, if you want to try it. And I highly recommend you use save states, since the game is so unfair with how it sends you back whenever you die. There's no checkpoints at all. Even Vector Man had checkpoints. Yeah, well, this game would have been a smash hit for kids who are fans of Atmosfear. It is nothing more than another chapter in the pages of gaming history. Stop! You have criticized my game long enough. What do you expect? It's got bad game design written all over it. And how did you even appear? Well, I can teleport by thundercloud. And how dare you mock my masterpiece? Do you have any idea how much I've worked on that game? How much time I spent working on it? And how much effort I poured into it? Only for it to not see the light of day. Don't waste my time, for you have precious little of it, for I am the Gate Trucker! Well, you kinda confused me because I thought you were the Gatekeeper. No. You must be mistaken, because the Gatekeeper is my older brother. And he is the meanest brother around. Seriously. Some people complain about how the Loud Sisters are mean, so mean to Lincoln because of certain episodes. But that's nothing compared to my brother. We don't even get along all the time. And the worst part is that we don't see eye to eye often, aside from our endless amounts of confrontations. But anyways, you're banished! Banished? What did I do wrong? Why me? Why am I getting banished all of a sudden? Because you did the unthinkable, and you tore apart my masterpiece again. How dare you criticize my masterpiece like that? You will be sent straight to the black hole, where you belong. Now, get into my truck, and be gone!
Hey, get me out!